Remember that commenting and subscribing enters you into this week's giveaway, which is a foil copy of Satoru Umezawa. The results for the giveaway will be announced this Sunday on February 20th. Good luck. What we're doing right now is we're building a commander deck basically from scratch. We got Nashi, the Moon Sage is Scion. This is the commander card that I pulled during pre-release. That was actually the promo card. And this card says, whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of each player's library until the end of turn. You may play one of those cards. You know, I just thought about adding double strike to this deck somehow via equipment. I think that would be pretty cool. But anyway, if you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its mana value rather than paying its mana cost. So it's pretty good. When I played it during the sealed event, it was pretty powerful in those moments. I will say though that because this is a mono black ninja deck, I just find that this deck's going to be low powered, so in order to make it a bit stronger, we're going to add a good amount of card draw and a good amount of removal to this deck just so that it can compete. What we're going to do first is I have these pile of cards over here right now. What I'm doing is I'm separating the creatures that have evasiveness to activate ninjutsu, and then the removal over here, and then cards that grant some sort of evasiveness off to the side over here as well. I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna count Death Touch as evasiveness, because if somebody attacks if you're attacking with a Death Touch creature, chances are somebody's gonna want to not block. So we're just gonna count that as evasiveness. So allow me to separate the cards over here. I want to keep the Blade of the Oni. That gives menace. This gives intimidate and draws me a card and is an enchantment. And there's cards on the deck that say that we need enchantments in play, so we're just gonna use that. And then we'll keep this Vampiric Embrace just because it gives the creature flying, and we need enchantments. So we'll keep those three cards. If I take a look at the removal that we have over here, let me put these creatures off to the side for now. Let's take a look at the removal that we have here. This Spark Harvest says I have to sacrifice a creature to activate it, which may not be the best thing. I'm going to keep the Nev Disc. This Blood Curdle gives a menace counter, so it's basically evasion and removal, which I think works well for this deck. We're gonna keep this Devour and Shadow because it's just cheap. I need to keep this Scar from existence just because it's a 7 mana cost, but this lets me remove a permanent, and I have no way to remove enchantments or other difficult to remove things, so I just find that could be pretty important sometimes when I play games. Extinguish All Hope. This is another 7-drop. Grizzly Spectacle. We'll keep this cast down. Product Fumes. Let's keep this Twisted Embrace, just because it buffs a creature and its removal. See, this is what I was talking about. Destroy a target creature or planeswalker. The spell costs 1 less if you cast or control an artifact or enchantment. So this is good to keep. So we're keeping that right there. We got Slaughter, Chime of Night. It's an enchantment. Poison the Cup will keep. Chime of Night would go right here. This. Feed the Serpent, another exile. Sudden Death, which gives -4/-4, split second. And then this puts an artifact into play, so we're gonna keep baking to a pie. I think we're just gonna add this Epic Downfall. And then if I count... I think I had another board wipe. I think I'd rather run the board wipe here and take out... Because we have creatures that act as removal too. So I'm going to take out this Chime of Night. Keep this. Yeah, I'd rather keep the extra board wipe there. Now take a look at these creatures. What we're gonna do is we're gonna separate these into, this is removal, so we're definitely gonna play this. It's removal and it has evasion, which is pretty nice. This card is removal on a creature, so we're just gonna keep this. It says that whenever this attacks, I can discard a card, and then target creature fighting player controls gets X minus X until the end of turn, where X is the number of artifacts you control, plus the number of artifacts in your graveyard, so that just synergizes really well. Necrotal as well is basically 4 mana removal, and it's a first strike creature, so it's just, it attacks well. I think we're gonna play this Baleful Beholder because it forces each opponent to sacrifice a creature. And I can give all creatures menace. And if this gets the opportunity to attack unblocked, I can just do that again. So I have 2 cards that can remove, 3 cards that can remove enchantments, which I like. This is discard a creature card, destroy target creature, so this is removal. You know, this Fetid Imp has flying and it can gain Death Touch, so it's evasion and removal, technically. This Nezumi Blade Blesser. This is evasion and removal on a card. There's a ton of removal here, man. But that's not really that. This is... I'll play Gonti. Death Touching gives me cards. This says you may reveal X black cards in your hand if you do target creature gets X minus X until the end of turn. I don't know how I feel about that. This one gives me Monarch, so I think we're just gonna play this, and it's a Death Toucher. And I could bring it back to my hand to just give myself Monarch again. Yeah, this is ninjutsu. Basically everything that says ninjutsu, I'm automatically playing. Well, we're definitely playing all of these. Okay, so right now we got good amount of cards here. Play this Samurai. These are the same cards. That can go over there. That can go right there. This has utility. I can either return a creature card from my graveyard, and it has flying. This can allow me to activate ninjutsu the same turn, essentially. It has haste, so we're gonna play this Ginger Brute. So let's take a look at what we got right now. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 35. So we got 35 cards so far. And I still have all those cards. So I think I'm gonna leave it like this for now. And then we can go to add some other stuff later. We do have all of these cards over here. So this is basically ninjutsu, creatures, and removal. A lot of removal. So that's fair. So now I would like to have mana. So let's find ramp and card draw. So this is that there. Every 2 drop we want. So 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, so those are automatically included. This heraldic banner is gonna buff all of our creatures, so we're gonna play that. And then everything that makes a color mana, we're gonna keep as well. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then this one can make tokens. I mean artifacts, so we'll keep that. And this one's scries. So we'll keep that. So we got 1, 2, that's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I think that works. Alright, so grand total is 1, 2, 3, 142, 43, 44. It's 44 cards. So we usually want we're at 44 cards. So we're looking for 64 cards. So we need 20 more cards. So now we need card draw. We're gonna play this Explorer Scope. Because if the Explorer Scope happens, it triggers as this attacks, as Nashi attacks, which means that if the top card of my library is a land, I can put it onto the battlefield, and then if I deal combat damage, I'm not going to exile a land off the top of my library, which gives me the ability to kind of filter, which that scrying card technically could have done, but that doesn't cost mana. Like this, well, I only pay 1 to equip, so I think that the Explorer Scope is better here. Alright, so now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So Lore Seeker Stone can go here. That's there. There. Go there. There. Okay, so now we got 1, 2, 3. So I need 11 more cards. But now we want cards that are gonna buff our creatures. This gives a creature +1/+1 in lifelink, and it draws us a card. So we'll play that. I don't know if I really want that. Let me see. When a Mind Carver enters the battlefield, attach target creature you control. I mean, this would turn Nashi into a 3/1, so a 6/3. No. I don't know if that's really that important. mean, I'll play a Black Blade just because it's a Black Blade. $768, 69. So I need to take out 5 cards. Take out 5 cards. I think I'm gonna remove this. So that's 4 cards left. I'm gonna start sleeving the cards much more intense while it's happening, which I find really cool. Alright, so we got, this is 64 cards here, so we always play 36 lands. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lands right here, so I need 26 more lands. But let me just sleeve these right now. Alright, so that's the Nashi commander deck here. I am streaming this live on twitch.tv/coach MTG. So in the future, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can head to my Twitch channel, which I'm just going to be going live there and then just transferring this video straight over to YouTube. And yeah, that's basically it. So we finished this deck. I'm gonna do a separate video where I talk about each card individually that we've placed inside of this deck, and then we'll go over the strategy and what this deck wants to accomplish. And maybe I should probably play test this right now, actually, before I go anywhere.